What's happening, my Jack family? Coach Scott here. Welcome to another episode of the Jack Death 40 podcast. Today I'd like to talk about how I have grown in 2021. Basically, the lessons I have learned throughout this past year. And it began right out of the gates in the month of January when I went through a 4-week mini cut. Now, I approach this mini cut different than previous mini cuts. I had told myself that my plan here is to consume 2,000 to 2,100 calories a day. I'm gonna roll with that for as long as I can. If I need a refeed, I'll have a refeed. I don't have to schedule it for every Friday night. And same thing with treats, consuming my favorite treats. I didn't want to say, all right, I'm gonna have a cheat day every Friday night. That's when I'm going to allow myself to have treats. I wanted to give myself permission that if I had a desire for one of my favorite treats, I was going to allow myself to have it. But I really wanted to make a focus on consuming nothing but whole, natural, nutrient-rich foods most of the time. Giving myself permission, if I wanted a treat, I could have a treat. So first week goes by, I had no desire whatsoever for any treats. Mind you, we're coming off the Christmas holidays, whereas consuming treats a little bit more frequently, and I just was done with it. I didn't have any desire for treats at that point. So it was very easy for me to stick with this whole natural nutrient-rich food diet. 2 weeks go by, still no desire for any of my favorite treats. And I started to notice that I was thriving from consuming nothing but whole natural nutrient-rich foods. My performance in the gym had never been better. I was hitting personal best week after week. I was thriving, I had tons of energy. And throughout the rest of my day, my mental clarity was high. I was just incredibly productive overall. So I'm like, I'm just gonna keep rolling with this. I don't have a desire. Let's keep pushing it. 3 weeks go by, still no desire for any of my favorite treats. Get to the end of 4 weeks, I didn't consume a single treat during that time, and I just continued to make better and better progress in the gym each and every week, and this is in a calorie deficit. I felt energized. I felt incredible. I was even incorporating some cardio training during that time, so I was being a little bit more active than I normally am, and just feeling freaking incredible. I didn't feel beat down at all. Again, you gotta look at the whole big picture here is that I was sleeping incredibly well, quality sleep consistently each and every day. My stress, there's like no stress going on in my life whatsoever. And there were also no real temptations in my life. We were in a lockdown at the time, so there's no social events, restaurants were closed and all that kind of stuff. So temptations were at a minimum. So the only way I was getting any temptations was at the grocery store or if I brought anything home, which I didn't because I didn't have any desire for it. The other thing is that I kept my calories consistent at 2,000 to 2,100 calories each and every day during that entire 28-day period. I think that kept my energy levels, again, consistent. I think there was no ups and downs. I didn't have any days where I felt really deprived of food and nutrition and nutrients. And once again, I was just thriving from the quality nutrient-rich food. So I learned a lot of valuable lessons in there. Like, I follow a flexible dieting lifestyle, and again, I don't think any food is off limits. I don't think there are any forbidden foods that you should incorporate into your diet. You should be able to enjoy your favorite treats whenever you want to have those treats. But I think following a flexible dieting lifestyle doesn't mean that you need to always try to find ways to fit in your favorite treats. You don't have to have a cheat day every week or have certain days of the week where you're going to incorporate your favorite treats. So you need to really think about, like, do I really have a desire for these treats today? And just listening to your body, having that heightened sense of awareness with how your body responds to consuming whole, natural, nutrient-rich foods. Like, pay attention to how these foods impact your body, your energy, your mindset, your focus, your clarity, all of that kind of stuff. So just some valuable lessons that I pulled out of that 4-week mini cut, where trying to keep my nutrition consistent, less ups and downs in there, which keeps the weight, whether if your progress in a mini cut, a little bit more linear and more consistent than the ups and downs, the spikes where you have a cheat day, or like you see your weight go up, it can fuck with your mindset there, and then it takes forever to get back down. But finally, at the end of the week, you're like, all right, yeah, I did make some progress this week. It's just things, it was a lot more easier to see the downward trend. Same thing with maintenance, trying to keep calories. Less ups and downs. It keeps your energy levels more stable throughout. I think it just makes the whole process a lot easier. And again, giving yourself permission to have treats, but doesn't mean that you necessarily need to have them all the time. And so I've carried that forward throughout this entire year. I find that I am having treat days and treats a little less often. Again, I'm always giving myself permission to have them, but I just find that when I focus on consuming whole, natural, nutrient-rich foods most of the time, I am just thriving. So I'm doing more of what is making me thrive. And then when I do have my treats, I'm enjoying them even more because I'm having a little bit less often than normal. I don't feel like I need to go nuts on them and overindulge on them because, again, I just know that I can have it whenever I want, if I want, but I just know that eating in moderation, responsibly, and consuming whole, natural, nutrient-rich foods is how I perform my best and feel my best. And that ties into another way that I have grown throughout 2021 is that there hasn't been one single experience throughout this year where I felt stuffed, where I felt over full. I've gotten to the point of feeling somewhat full on occasion here and there. It's been kind of few and far between, but for the most part, I have just eaten to the point of satisfaction, maybe just a little bit above satisfaction on some occasions, but there's never been a day where I'm like, oh my God, I am stuffed. Like, I feel just terrible right now. And I haven't experienced those evenings of acid reflux or interrupted sleep or sluggishness or any of those downside, like negative side effects that I tend to experience when I over consume food. So to me, that's been a huge victory. In the past, I have definitely, it's been a big struggle of mine, especially once I get eating some of my favorite treats, like turning off the switch has been a struggle for me in the past. And like one cookie turns into the entire box of cookies. I still know myself, like if I am going to enjoy some chips or popcorn on the weekend, I know I'm going to eat the entire bag. But again, I plan for it. I don't like eat a lot leading up to that where I know at the end of eating that bag, I'm going to be like gluttonous and stuff. No, I know ahead of time, I'm going to be having an entire bag of chips tonight. My dinner might be a little bit lighter, or I might skip my third meal of the day in order to make room for that bag of chips at the end of the day. So I know that I'm not going to be going to bed feeling stuffed, feeling uncomfortable, experiencing acid reflux and getting that interrupted sleep. So really, it's been just, I mean, this is practice. This is years in the making. Each year has gotten better and better. I'd say the previous year, I probably did have a couple occasions where I did still stuff myself, experience that, and then tell myself there's no freaking way I ever want to do this again. But it's been a really rewarding experience to really learn to eat to that point of satisfaction, to learn to, I'm good enough, I can push that plate away. And now I'm at this point where I am chewing my food more. I am savoring each and every bite. And it's been an incredible experience. It's only been going on for the past couple of weeks here, but it's been an eye-opening experience for me, like really taking my time eating my meals, and really allows me to pick up on my hunger and appetite signals a lot easier than if I'm just rushing through my food. And it's also aiding in the digestion process. So that's been a big recent learning experience for me as well. So yeah, that's been an incredible process, incredible learning experience for me. The other thing is, went through this entire year not getting drunk once. And actually, I don't even think I ever felt tipsy once. You know me, I enjoy my craft beers. I enjoy some spiced rum or coconut rum. Like, I love some of these mixed drinks. But basically, I just know that 1 to 2 drinks is good for me. Like, especially summertime out in the backyard, I'd have a couple of drinks, just savor every sip and enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the company, but not drink in excess. Like, I never want to feel drunk again. I never want to have a hangover ever again. I don't mind feeling tipsy or anything, but yeah, going through a whole year with not even feeling tipsy, but enjoying my alcohol whenever I have a desire for it has been, again, another great learning experience for me that has certainly not happened in years past. I mean, it's been a long time since I've been drunk, but I've certainly been quite tipsy in recent years. So it's kind of been a good feeling to kind of keep the alcohol under control as well, which has an impact on my appetite, how I feel the following days, my productivity, my mental clarity, but again, it kind of dulls my inhibitions when it comes to food choices and all that stuff, not only when I am drunk, but even the following days as well. So that's been a valuable area where I have grown in 2021. Another way I've grown in 2021 is basically a continuation of growth that I've been experiencing in recent years. And that is, I really kept my weight in check this year. I really took an even slower and steadier approach to building muscle and improving my physique in 2021. In years past, I have gone through muscle building phases where I've gained up to 30 pounds, another year where I gained 20 pounds, another year where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just keep it to 15, then 10, and then last year in 2020, I gained 7 to 8 pounds, and it just seemed to be like, whether it was 7 to 8 pounds or 10 to 15 pounds or 20 to 30 pounds, all that weight basically turned out to be the same amount of muscle gain, and any excess weight that I gained was in the form of fat. So it basically seemed useless and ridiculous for me to try to force feed muscle gains. So keeping it in check around that 7 to 8 pounds was a great experience for me in 2020. This year I kept it to 5 to 6 pounds. Basically, it seems to be the exact same outcome here. So I think it just really, the way I have grown is just learning to keep things as close to maintenance as possible. The gentle surplus is where it's at, and just really being, I think it keeps you in your sweet spot. It keeps you in your happy place throughout the entire year. And really, you have to spend very little time dieting down. And most of your time, you are in a mindset and you are in a position where you are thriving. You're getting an adequate amount of fuel to perform your best, to feel your best. And you're not in a deprivation mindset hardly at all throughout the year. Like a 4-week mini cut, like 4 weeks of dieting, and it didn't even have to be an aggressive diet because you're keeping your fat gain in check. I mean, being able to thrive all year long, like having the fuel in you to perform your best, feel your best, think your best, and just to not be in that deprivation mindset, I'm telling you, that's probably been the best aspect of growth for me in the past. There's like the idea of 12-week and 16-week fat loss phases, for some people even longer. It just seems so daunting to me. I really think that most of us, especially at this stage of the game, should only have to go through that once. You get down to your goal weight, and then you keep things in check from there on out, like slow and steady gains, and just this gentle surplus where you only have to spend like up to 4 weeks in a mini cut, and that is it. So most of your year, you are focused on maintenance and slow and steady growth where you're thriving rather than in this deprivation lifestyle. So that's been a huge area of growth for me in 2021 that has continued from recent years past. Another way I've grown in 2021 is just doing more of what I love, really focused on becoming my best self. During the summer months, I mean, I spent most of my activity outside of the gym was paddleboarding, and a big reason I love that, I mean, it's great exercise. First of all, like my lats were getting an incredible workout with that, my core was getting an incredible workout with that, but just being out in the water, like no distractions, no cell phones, no technology, just me, the water, and nature, just really grounded me in the moment and really brought out the best of myself. So it was exercise, it was activity, it was doing stuff that I enjoy, and it just really brought joy to my life. Again, even more walking, even more hiking than ever before. Just being outdoors in nature has been huge for me. But what I have really done in just recently this past week, it's something I've been talking about all year long, and I'm finally putting it into action right now. I know, like, for me to be my best self, I need to be a little bit more flexible. I need to have a little bit better mobility. I've got a few little niggles, a little bit of tightness here and there. Actually, I got a lot more tightness than I ever realized, and I've been talking about incorporating yoga and doing a little bit more stretching, a little bit more mobility work. And this week I have finally done that. And each and every day I've done about 10 minutes of yoga. I had one day where I did 30 minutes of yoga. So just kind of learning the moves right now and just easing myself into it. I will eventually, in this new year, 2022, try to join a studio where I can get some proper instruction and really get the most out of the yoga experience. But I am loving it. Like, I'm already noticing a difference in my flexibility, how I'm feeling, how I'm moving. But I really love the kind of the spiritual aspect of it, the mind-body connection, the connection of my body, my mind to what's around me as well. So I love the spiritual practice of it, as well as the benefits that my body is reaping from it, as well as some of this extra stretching and mobility work that I've been doing, how that's helping my body. And back to incorporating more cardio into my lifestyle as well. My cardiovascular health is fantastic, but I just want to make sure I'm continuing to improve upon it or keep it up at that high level. So it's already been good seeing how I've incorporated the cardio into my training. Basically did some stair climbing. I would prefer to be outdoors doing my cardio, but right now, winter months here, need to be indoors. I do enjoy the stair climber, I enjoy the bike, I enjoy the rowing machine. So I'm going to be incorporating more of that, and is really happy to see how well I performed already in this first week when it comes to cardio. Like, I wasn't dying, I wasn't huffing and puffing. It was a challenge, more challenging than it probably should be, but it was a great experience. I just want to improve my overall circulatory health, my cardiovascular health. I just want to, again, be the best that I can be. I want to feel my best, I want to move my best, I want to perform my best. Now, incorporating these things, adding in the cardio, adding in some yoga, adding in some stretching, it's like I'm already working out, it's already taking up a little chunk of time throughout my days, throughout my week. So I decided to cut my training back to 4 days per week, as I mentioned in a recent Jacked Out for Your Life video here. And again, I'm not cutting back my training because I necessarily think it's better for us men at 40. It's just, I want to work in all these other things so I can perform my best. So 4 days of weight training is definitely going to be sufficient to produce the results that I want to experience with my physique when it comes muscularly developed. But the yoga is going to enhance that. The flexibility and mobility is going to enhance that. It's just going to allow me to perform better when I am in the gym, and it's going to allow me the time to recover. It's just going to allow me the time to live my life to the fullest as well. So again, doing things that bring joy to my life. More of that has been a huge area of growth for me in 2021. Another way I've grown in 2021 is by incorporating some different training techniques, or at least performing certain exercises in a slightly different way. Instead of doing dumbbell shoulder press on a completely upright bench, I've been angling it back a little bit. When it comes to any pressing movement, whether it's the shoulders or any angle of the chest, I've been tucking my elbows just a little bit more. So just being a little bit more cautious with my shoulder joints, just learning different techniques. Even like lateral raises, I was always pinky fingers lead the way. So as you're coming up, it's like you're pouring a pitcher of water, which is how I was taught years and years ago, and it's been backed up by a lot of other coaches over the years. But I do think that was one of the things that actually caused some of my little niggles and little shoulder issues that I experienced from time to time. So I started going the thumbs up a little bit more, but leaning forward a bit and keeping my hands out in front in the sagittal plane. And I've been finding that my delts, the movement feels better. Whether it's better for shoulder growth or not, I don't know for certain, but I just know it feels better to me. Less pain, less aggravation. So just doing movements, making subtle little changes to movements that allow me to feel better while performing it. So just having a heightened sense of awareness, so even that stronger mind-muscle connection, stronger awareness while I am training has paid huge dividends. And I just, to cap things off, I think the biggest way I have grown in 2021 is that I'm paying more attention to the mini victories. I am paying more attention to celebrating my successes along the way. It's very easy to beat ourselves up. It's very easy to reflect back on this past year and think, oh man, I wish I would have did this better. I wish I would have did this better. Man, did I ever screw up there? And just beat ourselves up and focus on our problems, being problem-centric focused with our thoughts. Something that I have learned in the recent months, listening to Relentless Solution Focus. Like, this is really kind of stat me out whenever I think of any problems that I'm going on. Whenever my thoughts go to what I wish I could have changed, or just thinking of the negative thoughts through these past experiences, I can flip that switch right away and bring it to more positive thought, more solution-focused thought. I'm like, all right, I screwed up there. I didn't achieve this. What can I do right now to bring me closer to my goals instead? So instead of just dwelling on the problem, I'm learning to focus on the solutions and taking action towards achieving that goal. It's amazing how just when you're always thinking about your problems, it keeps you stuck in those problems. Those problems just keep repeating themselves and repeating themselves. It's like it's going to keep repeating itself until you finally learn that lesson. Like, all right, I've got to start taking action to move forward. Let's overcome this. What do I need to do? What is the solution here to moving forward? It gets your wheels spinning, like, what is the solution? Then you start thinking, you try that, maybe it doesn't work. You try something more different. Maybe that's the one that's going to work and keep me moving forward. But I have really been focused on celebrating my mini victories each and every day. If you reflect back on your day yesterday, I guarantee you there's at least 3 things you can pat yourself on the back for, areas that you have improved upon. Just good that came out of your day, things that you did well, that you can use to propel yourself forward today. So focusing on your successes, they don't have to be big successes. Focus on the mini victories that you achieve each and every day is going to pay huge dividends for you. It's been a big way that I have grown in 2021. And now I'd love to hear from you. How have you grown in 2021? Please take a moment to drop a comment down below, share your thoughts, share your insights, share your feedback, share your experiences from this past year. If you enjoyed this week's podcast, please do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button. I'd really, really appreciate it. It's really gonna help this channel out. If you know a fellow bro who'd benefit from listening to today's Jacked After 40 podcast, do me a favor and share it with them. Before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Shredded After 40. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you in the next podcast.